In an earlier video, I discussed the concept of mapping variables within a Emerson Smart Wireless Gateway to Modbus registers, which could then be read by a device such as an HMI screen, like this one right here. And I made a discovery here, just playing around with the Emerson Gateway. It's kind of a cool thing. If you're setting up the Modbus register map, where you're mapping wireless device variables to Modbus registers, it gives you a pick list here. You can pick which variable you're going to map to a particular Modbus register. And right now we have two devices on the wireless mesh network. We've got level switch high 107 and temperature transmitter 101. So when I click on that pick list here, I get 4 variables per transmitter. A primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary variables for each transmitter. And at first I thought that's the only choices I had. And so I thought, well, that's kind of a shame, because when you go over here to Explorer and you take a look at what's actually in each transmitter, I click on the transmitter, in this case TT101, and I see the primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary variables. But there's also a menu here called Publish Data. And if I click on that, I find there's all kinds of data here within that transmitter being broadcast to the wireless gateway. I was thinking, gee, what a shame it is I can't read any of these points. Well, then I tried it. I went back to the Modbus mapping page and just started experimenting with putting in my own variable name. So I'll show you what I found. If I go to Modbus mapping right there, we're not limited to that pick menu. We can actually specify the tag name of the device, then a dot as a delimiter, and then you type in the variable name as you saw it on that extended detailed list. And so, for example, I'm looking at temperature transmitter 101, its primary and quaternary variables right there. But then I also picked out of that long data list the active neighbors, the burst 178 reliability, and RSSI parameters as well. Going back to here, Explorer, TT101, Publish Data. It's all arranged alphabetically, and you can see, for example, RSSI, one of those parameters I wanted to read, is a 16-bit signed integer value, currently minus 65 dBi. And so by going to the Modbus mapping page and specifying TT-101.RSSI, I found out I could actually map any of these variables I wanted to, in this particular case RSSI, to the Modbus register of my choice. So if I wanted to grab the, for example, sensor 2 failure Boolean, if I wanted to take that Boolean value there and map that to a Modbus register, I could if I wanted to. I could do any of these things in this list, apparently. So what that led to was a more comprehensive mapping of variables for TT101. I'm currently reading its primary variable, quaternary variable, the number of active neighbors, the reliability of the path, and the RSSI, the received signal strength indication. I mapped those to a bunch of registers here. Then I went to my Automation Direct Seymour HMI panel software, and I set up in the tag name database a set of registers here, temperature, battery voltage, number of neighbors, reliability, RSSI. I assigned the proper data types and the corresponding Modbus addresses that were mapped in the Smart Wireless Gateway. Sent that to the panel, and lo and behold, here I have it. I've got live readouts here from temperature transmitter 101 on my wireless network. I've got the degrees Fahrenheit, 32-bit floating point. I've got battery voltage, also 32-bit floating point. Number of neighbors, reliability, and RSSI all reading out. So apparently any variable in that long list I can get through the Modbus mapping, which is really, really cool, because these devices are data rich. They're sending lots of data back to the Smart Wireless Gateway. So cool stuff.